Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Okay, y'all, good morning. Off-season trucks along. It is Senior Bowl week over in Mobile. So two LSU Tigers participating, Charles Turner, Jordan Jefferson. See how their weeks go. And then, of course, the Saints, a large part because of proximity, always send a very large contingent to the Senior Bowl. So we'll see if there's any players that stand out. Saints love to draft players from the Senior Bowl. Nabbed Trevor Penning a couple of years ago, as we know. It didn't work out so great, but Saints love to nab players from the Senior Bowl. So we'll see who might emerge out of that crop this year. There in the description today and on the thumbnail, I have a new OC candidate for the New Orleans Saints. I kind of feel like they're just trying to interview the entire league at this point, or maybe they're waiting on the candidate they want, which might be Clint Kubiak or Brian Griese, who are both still coaching with the 49ers, who'll be coaching the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. And if that's the case, then I understand. Like if you have been unable to interview them amid this this playoff run, then I get it. Well, with this week being off, this would be the opportunity to sit down with those guys. So hopefully you'd have the opportunity to to do that and make a decision here. Well, Greg Lewis is who they're interviewing, or it was announced this morning by Tom Pelissero, reported that the Saints are interviewing Greg Lewis. So Greg Lewis played in the NFL. Hang on. So Greg Lewis is the Ravens wide receiver coach. Kind of a similar path as Cortez Hankton. Same age, played in the NFL, played professionally for about the same amount of time, and then got into coaching about a decade ago and is, built his way up. Hankton, though, did it through the college ranks. Greg Lewis has been exclusively in the NFL. So Lewis played with the Eagles, Patriots, Vikings during his career. And was in that Super Bowl with the Eagles when they lost to the Patriots. Remember the game where T.O. played with a broken leg and all that stuff? Anyway, so Greg Lewis, just if you remember the name, caught a touchdown in that Super Bowl, by the way. But so Greg Lewis played in the NFL, finished his career in 2010, started coaching, and I'm looking at it here. He's been with... forgive me, he actually was in college at the start of his career. Forgive me, at University of San Diego, then San Jose State, then Pitt, and then jumped into the NFL. He did a year with the Saints in 2015 as an offensive assistant, then Eagles, Chiefs, and then now Ravens as the wide receivers coach. So, has coached for a year in New Orleans, had been there with the Chiefs in the Reed Mahomes era, and this year with the Ravens. So kind of the same thing we've talked about with some of these quarterbacks coaches, where it's like, all right, do you give someone their first opportunity to be a play caller? And if you're going to be okay with a quarterbacks coach, and why not with a receivers coach? But I just keep going back and I'm like, doing your due diligence is fine. And there's no reason to rush the hire if you're not satisfied with one of the candidates you've interviewed, or thrilled, rather, with one of the candidates you've interviewed. So I'm okay. I understand that. You're doing your due diligence and not settling. But the other part of it is there's a difference between not settling and being indecisive. And I'm starting to wonder where this is. The Saints haven't had to hire an offensive coordinator in almost 20 years. So, I mean, you had an offensive-minded head coach with Sean Payton and Pete Carmichael as his OC. So this is new. So I don't know what to make of it because we haven't seen the Saints do this. And similarly on the flip side, Dennis Allen was here as an assistant whenever Rob Ryan was fired, and so they promoted DA, which was fine. And then DA was the head coach, and then promoted Ryan Nielsen and Chris Richard as co-DCs. Well, Dennis Allen was calling the defense anyway, so it didn't really matter who the defensive coordinator was, in an in-game sense. So we really haven't seen the Saints have to hire a coordinator. I mean, since Peyton hired Dennis Allen or Rob Ryan before that, and I don't know my point is, because there isn't a great track record here, I don't know if what we're watching is indecision or being thorough. And my hope is what they would really like is to hire one of the guys from the 49ers, and they're just waiting because they're still playing. That would alleviate a lot of this concern about the path that they're going. Okay, we'll say some good mornings here. YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Also, the LSU women lost last night to Mississippi State. That is not a great sign of a mature team. I should say that is a sign of an immature team. When you let a loss one week prevent victory the next, and that's what happened here. You're all bummed that you didn't get it done at home against South Carolina when you emptied the tank and you went on the road to play Mississippi State and you got punked. So, got to get it together. Jacob Thompson, Brian Wynn, Brian Penn, good morning. Wendell Norman, Von Bluespin, Montreal Cage, James McKinney, Trivia Carter, Wood Larry Garner, Brad David. Cajun Country, good morning. Got Hudco coming today. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man. Out in Lafayette, too, so we appreciate you, Sean. About the Saints, they seem dysfunctional, almost like all OCs know the DA is out next year, going to be a long few years. Well, there certainly could be that component, which is Zach Robinson. So Zach Robinson was the passing game coordinator with the Rams, who just went with Raheem Morris to the Atlanta Falcons to be his OC. Is Atlanta without a quarterback and a first-year head coach? Raheem Morris has been head coach before, you understand, but I mean first-year head coach in Atlanta. Is that a better situation than potentially working for a lame duck coach in New Orleans? I mean, so I guess the point is, for these offensive coordinator candidates that have options, I don't think the Saints is the most desirable option. That's kind of what you're seeing. Taylor Hudson, what's going on? Fred X214, what's your comments on Michael Thomas' Twitter post? So, talked about that yesterday with Cat Terrell. He's got to be done in New Orleans. He'll probably be designated as a post-June 1 release, which will save him some money against the cap this year. But I can't imagine, if you're willing to go onto social media and take shots at the organization, take shots at Derek Carr, basically saying he should have been a 1,000-yard receiver. Derek Carr's bad pass is why he got hurt. Nobody wants to come be the offensive coordinator for the Saints. I mean, you're publicly airing that dirty laundry. Like, if it were Sean Payton, Michael Thomas would already be cut. Like, because that's the kind of, like, Sean valued culture so much, and we saw it so many times over the years where no one was immune. The Saints paid Junior Galette a ton of money. A year later, they had cut him. The Saints had a steal in the draft with Kenny Stills, but they shipped him out of town. Jimmy Graham was the most dominant pass-catching tight end. Well, he ain't Gronk, but at that time, and they traded him because of the whole franchise tag. My franchise as a receiver or a tight end, and Peyton has valued culture so much that this would never stand, and you're seeing it, man. There's no fear of repercussions with Dennis Allen and with this organization right now. So Michael Thomas goes on Twitter and is taking all these shots. I don't know how he's back. Um, so they'll probably designate him a post June 1 release, and that'll be that. And if and when that happens, we'll have the big picture convo about Michael Thomas, which is in part so sad because he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I mean, he was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. He was producing at the receiver position, certainly unlike we'd ever seen for a Saints wide receiver. But I mean, he's breaking records Marvin Harrison set. I mean, it's just so sad that it went the way that it did, to where he's played in just 20 games over the last 4 years. Brett DeGrow, Tiger Diver. Can the Saints get rid of Michael Thomas? They stuck with him. So they can get rid of him, but he'll probably have to be a post June 1 release. So as of right now, I'll pull it up. But so Michael Thomas's cap hit for 2024 is $10 million, and his dead cap number is $18 million. So if he's on the roster, he costs you 10.2. I'm looking at it right here. If he's not on the roster, he costs you 18.1. So he costs you more money not to be on the roster than if he's on the roster. However, if you designate him as a post June 1st release or trade, your dead cap number in 24 would drop to 8.9 million. Now you would also carry the balance of that in 2025, so you'd have a 9.1 dead cap number in 2025. So basically, you could take that dead cap number and cut it in half and split it over 2 years. Instead of taking 18 million in dead money this year, you could take 9 million this year, 9 million next year, which is probably what they're going to do. And for a team that's $80 million over the cap right now, which the Saints are, when you have to make contracts work to get under the salary cap, and you're saying we're willing to eat $9 million against the cap the next 2 years to not have this guy on the roster, that's telling about the player. But I think that's where they are. Brian Broom, Timothy Fontenot, Kelly Gross, good morning, Brant Roban. I don't follow the Lady Tigers very much. I hear their depth isn't good. Hope they have enough gas in the tank to make a deep run. They're going to have to get some young players to step up, Brant. I mean, they'll develop some depth over the next 2 months, but make no mistake, LSU is dramatically better than Mississippi State. There's no reason to lose that game. That was you went all out. It was a classic letdown spot. Like all those times LSU football would play Bama tough, empty the tank, lose, and then the next week go lose to Arkansas. Michael Cook, good morning. Josh DeVilliers, don't know if you've seen it, but Will Wade leading the country with the longest winning streak at 13. I have seen it. And I don't think Will Wade's going to be at McNeese next year. Charlie Cavell, Buddy Bond, Bubba Smith, Jay Borden, Rocky Killian, good morning. Shame Michael Thomas was the only wide receiver that had an injury this year. Thomas, Olave. I mean, Olave's another one that got hurt kind of because of Derek Carr hanging him out to dry. But anyway. Thad Landry, good morning. It's my birthday. All I'm looking for is advice from Keyshawn Booty about betting strategy. Happy birthday, Thad. Wonderful that you have a sense of humor. Never lose that. Hope you have a great birthday. Thanks for being here, man. Trent Pledger, Ryan Perilou must have taught Booty a thing or two. Nah. Ryan Perilou was using the counterfeit 20 at a gas station. I mean, again, a bad decision, a dumb thing by a young person. But anyway. But comparable in this sense. I think both are good. Like Ryan Perilou is a good player. And he's... Okay, come see. See? Okay. Okay. Perilou is a good dude. And I think his path and a lot of the bad decisions he made have helped mature him, which is a great thing. I mean, he's coaching now. At least I heard he's coaching, and young people and doing really, really well. He's a father. Sometimes when you're 20 years old, you just do dumb stuff. We all do dumb stuff. Not all of us get caught. Not all of us are a quarterback at LSU or in the public eye. Not excusing it, but sometimes there's an explanation that a lot of people can understand. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Brad David, how was Steve Spagnuolo so bad with the Saints, but has been a great coordinator everywhere else? Brad, one of the most perplexing things. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Maybe he's here. I need to go unlock the door. Hey, maybe he's here. Mother-in-law pulling into the garage. Mother-in-law pulling into the garage is the funniest thing. 72, 73 years old. She's afraid she's going to hit the wall. So, I mean, she's just like, creeps up, stops back, like, pull in the garage. Your little Buick isn't going to hit the wall. Oh, man. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, so the Steve Spagnuolo thing is just so bizarre. I mean, he was the DC here in the Bounty Gate year, and they allowed more yards.
For Dad show.
Well, come say hi to Dad show. Well, come here. I'll tell you. Okay. We'll say good morning to Dad show. Huh? Say good morning.
Hi. Come on,
What do you
Dad
say?
Show.
Oh, good. That was very sweet. After Dad show, we will get dressed and go for a ride in Daddy's car to the New St. Lily. New St. Lily. Good job. Okay? Okay. Hey, what's on your jammies today? Is that a tree? Is that a moose?
Yes.
Yes. What else is on your jammies? A button?
Yes.
Okay. His butt says, take a hike. Okay, like you're hiking through the woods. Let's see. Tiger Diver, Morning Scone. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Yeah, so the Spagnuolo thing. 2012, Bounty Gate, Saints allowed more yards than any defense in NFL history at that time. And Spagnuolo was the coordinator. And then a year later, Peyton came back and fired him and brought in Rob Ryan, and they were better until it fell apart with Rob Ryan. They brought back Dennis Allen, as we know, but crazy. Thomas Lamont, morning, Matt. Need a roof inspection for insurance. You know who I called. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that, man. Let them know Scone sent you. Appreciate you, man. Jeff Hawk, good morning. What up, dude? Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. How long before the Saints hire an OC? I wish I knew. William Moore, Tim Gotro, Jason H. What kicks are we going with today? Got my Jordan 1 lows, gray and blue. Have the J's on. James Avery, good morning. Phil Smith, morning, Matt. Thoughts on Michael Thomas? Yeah, okay, did that. Jason Mobile, good morning. Bored out of my mind on a turnaround. Looking for shoes online. LOL. Everyone have a great day. GFLY Drip Fam, what's going on? Pat Huseman, morning, everyone. Another loss hurts a little. Yes, I believe they'll get it together before round time. I'm more hurt on what the commentators did at that King Cake the other night. I mean, it's very clear that like L. Duncan was looking for the baby, right? But there's a way to do it in a civil, couth way that's not just mutilating a king cake on live television. David Bass, good morning from Montana. Saints need to hire John Gruden as OC. I disagree with you, David. I'm not okay with John Gruden as the offensive coordinator. There was a point where, to me, it made sense because he was a guy that had worked with Derek Carr during Carr's most productive years. However, when you dig a little deeper, those Raiders teams had a lot of the same symptoms these Saints teams have. They put up a lot of yards, but they didn't score, which illustrates the red zone issues that have followed Derek Carr throughout his entire career, even with John Gruden. I want someone who is part of the modern offensive game in the NFL. I'm not interested in a retread. So you're seeing what's working in the NFL. Go find the next version of Mike McDaniel, Kevin O'Connell, whoever it may be off that McVay, Shanahan tree, and go find a young, innovative offensive mind that can help modernize you. Jonathan Weisbrot, he didn't tell one lie, though. I guess tried about Michael Thomas. And that's fine. But you also don't air your dirty laundry in public. If you have a problem, there's a way to handle it professionally. You walk into the coach's office and you have a meeting behind closed doors. It's like a family. You can say whatever you want in the privacy of your home, but you don't go air your family's dirty laundry in public. That's the same thing here. And Michael Thomas done it too much. It's because there's no fear of any retribution. That's the problem. There's no accountability within this organization. That's the problem. Eric Wilderrider, is it fair to call Ireland average? Yes, the 2017 draft was incredible. His recent first-round picks are Penning, Turner, and Ruiz. I'd also argue 2020 draft was all-time bad. You're also ignoring Chris Olave. You can't be selective, okay? You've got to be able to acknowledge Olave, Alante Taylor, who's been a good young player. They certainly appear to have hit with Brian Brzee this year. So, I mean, you can't just point out the misses because every team is going to have misses. And, by the way, Cesar Ruiz has become a starter. I'm not going to sit and argue that he's an all-pro or anything of the like, but he's also a center playing guard. So, I'm not completely on board with that. Phil, is David Chad Johnson confirmed? Not yet. I'll reach out to him again today to see. I think they shoot Inside the NFL today on Tuesday, but I don't know. But I'll find out, and whenever we have a date, I'll let you know. It felt very much like he's in my limited interaction, it feels like he's kind of a fly by the seat of your pants type guy, which is totally cool. But when I know, I'll certainly pass it along. Brent St. Germain, Lewis needs to be held accountable for poor drafts, bad free agency signing, salary cap mismanagement. Yeah, I agree. I think he should be gone. Robert Scott, good morning from ATL. Who dat and go Tigers. Leon Williams, Soulfinger 12, Irfan Sayad, Gamogan. Tramal Kellop, Scone. Do you think the Saints are going to wait for John Gruden's trial and get him? I don't think that's what they're waiting on. If you wanted to hire John Gruden, you can hire him. I mean, I know he's got a suit against the NFL, but what am I thinking? Brian Flores. I know his name. Brian Flores has a lawsuit against the NFL, and he's coaching again. So, let's see. Cajun Country, we all do dumb things when we mess up. Hangover is a classic movie. Mike Tyson is a genius. Jen Gari would love to have Drew B back as OC. I know he's living his best life. Yeah, Breeze, I don't think Breeze has any desire to be an NFL offensive coordinator. Ryan Slayton, good morning. Shamal, it's depressing. The Saints might trade Lattimore for a coach that Mickey might be forced to fire next year. Hey, Dad, good morning. Gary Petrie, good morning. Let's see. Brant Broban, wonder how many games LSU will not be favored in this fall. It's a good question. You talking about preseason odds? I think LSU will be. They should be a slight home favorite over Bama. They should be. I think they will be a home dog to Ole Miss. They could be a dog to USC. Should be a home favorite over Oklahoma. Maybe only Ole Miss. Anyway, it's 8 o'clock. I got to go. Michael Thacker, morning, Scone. You asked yesterday about my Chiefs LSU fandom. Grew up in both places. Okay. Lived in LA, K through 4, Kansas till 10th. Eric Priest Holmes, Tony Gonzalez. Got it. That makes sense. Down with that. Wayne Blanchard, good morning, y'all. Okay, I think we are donezo. Derek Powell, no excuses this year, no matter who the OC is. Another season, no playoffs. Everyone should be coaching somewhere else. I agree. Hey, Jason Walker, signed my contract with Scott last night with Hudco on the way. Awesome, man. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you very much. Charles MacArthur, morning, Scone from Slidell. Good morning, Charles. Okay, y'all, I think we are done. Let me bounce. LSU Daily is live. Whatever podcast app you use, just search LSU Daily. I'd appreciate it greatly. Subscribe up. And YouTube, smash that like button. Subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page. Share the post. We'll see y'all for AFR 3. Deuces.